Hey guys, so I'm back, and this is going to be the first video in a new series that I want to try out. I just think it would be, fun. I'm going to call it Stash Busters. Yeah, strange name. Anyway, in this series I'm going to be going through and showing you how to make the most of the products that you have in your stash, in your crafting stash, whether it be scrapbooking, project life, or planners, or mini albums, just any like crafty thing that we craft addicts have in abundance. I'm just going to be going through and kind of giving you different ideas on how to actually use up your stash instead of just hoarding it. And the first thing that I am going to do is show you how I go about creating scrapbooking kits from my stash instead of subscribing to a kit online. I have so much stuff, and a lot of it it gets put away, it gets hoarded, and it gets a little crazy. So the way I get myself to use more of it, and use the things that typically I don't maybe grab for because they're not as accessible, I will take the time and create a kit so that I have all of this stuff in one place on my desk, easily accessible, and I'm using the stuff that I own already. There is, back when, does anybody remember 2Ps? I know it was a scrapbooking website where they sold products, and they had a design team, and they had a YouTube channel, and one of the people who created for them, it was Jill Sprout, and she still has a blog, and she posts things. Obviously she has a blog, she posts things. And she did this challenge last year or a couple of years ago, and I don't know how often she does it, but on her blog she posted this challenge, and it was basically a challenge to create a kit out of your stash, and then you had to make at least like 4 different projects or something like that. But I loved it so much that I kind of took the guidelines and tweaked them a little bit to fit myself and my personal needs a little bit better, but for the most part it's the same. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you the basic the guidelines that I have, because I don't remember exactly what hers were, but mine are almost exactly the same, if not exactly the same. I think I changed a couple things though. But I'm going to go through and tell you what my guidelines are, just so maybe you can, if you're interested, write them down and use them for yourself, or tweak them for however you need to, for what's going to work for you. Anyway, as I do that, I'm going to go through and show you what I put in this kit that I have right here, and I just have it stored in like one of these like plastic iris containers. Actually, this was one that I got from Costco. So I'm going to put this over here so it's not in the way. Okay. So the thing that I typically start off with, and there's a couple different ways you can start with, like a couple different things you can do. So you can either take a kit that you already own. Hold on. You can either take not a kit, I mean like a collection. Like if you have a collection that you have some of, but maybe not all of, but you want to make sure that you use them together, which is kind of what I did. You can do that, and then you can pick and choose from your stash to supplement that. Another thing that you can do, and that's how you can go off the colors, choose your other products based on the colors of the collection that you're trying to supplement for. Another thing you can do is, if you have one certain product that you want to use, you really want to make sure you use, you can take that product and go through the guidelines and choose other products that fit that color scheme. You know, I usually like to pick one thing, whether it's a piece of paper, a pack of stickers, a washi tape, something to kind of jumpstart your search within your stash. So what I did was I had a few papers and a couple embellishments from the Crepe Paper Wonder collection. And this came out like a year or two ago, I think. Anyway, I had a few papers from that and a couple embellishments, so that's what I decided to go with. So first thing I have are the 12 by 12 patterned papers. So let's start with the ones that I have from the collection. So I have this paper right here, which is called Discover. And here's the back side. And then I have this, which is called Splendid. This one is Cheerful. I love these houses. They're so cute. There's the back. And the cats, oh my goodness. This is Curious. Wild Spirit. And then Dream. And then from there, I basically used the papers because it was a little bit easier. I used the papers as my color inspirations. So let's lay these out a little bit. Okay. And then I just went into my stash of 12 by 12 papers and started picking things. This one is from Crepe Paper as well. This is from the Confetti line, and this page is called Cloud 9. And either one of these sides would work, but I chose it for this one because of the next paper that I picked. And who knows, I might end up using that side. It goes too. This wood grain page is from My Mind's Eye from Miss Caroline collection. And this one is called Dilly Dally Curious Planks Paper. It's a long name. The next one I chose is just torn out from a Heidi Swap paper pad. I don't remember what the collection is called, but it's the one with all like the super bright colors and like big bold patterns. The next paper I chose was this one, and this is from Studio Calico, the Bright and Pure collection, and this is Pure Puriscope, like Periscope. That's funny. So this is the side I chose it for, but I could end up using either one of these sides. And then I have 8 pieces of paper. No, 10. Take that back. I have 10 pieces of paper. And I usually go with about 10 unless I find another piece that I absolutely have to have. I try not to go above 12 and I try not to go below 10 because I feel like 10 is just a good amount. It's not too few and it's not too many, so you're not overwhelmed. And then when I have all my pattern papers picked out, I go through and I choose 2 or 3 solid 12 by 12 cardstock pages. And these are the 3 colors that I chose. And I think all of these are from cardstock packs that I got from Walmart. They sell like $5 cardstock packs, and the quality is actually pretty nice. So I'm pretty sure all of these are from some of those. I don't remember exactly what they're called. And then I like to go and choose usually 2 sheets of specialty paper, meaning like vellum, acetate, die cut, like a die cut 12 by 12 sheet, something like that. So I chose this pink vellum, and I believe this is just a sheet of pink vellum from Michaels, from their loose leaf paper section. And then the pink hearts from Dear Lizzie Polka Dot Party. And this is called Delectable Desserts. So those are my 2 specialty papers. And then one of the embellishments that I had from this collection, from the Wonder collection, that I was basing this kit off of, was the chipboard sheet, the 12 by 12 chipboard sheet. So we've got the pattern paper, cardstock, specialty paper, and there are a few different guidelines I have for choosing embellishments, but basically what I used this one for was my one unused item. So in every homemade kit that I make sure I choose one item, one product that has not been touched yet, like nothing's missing from it. So that is what I decided to use this one for. Another thing I always like to add, and this is mostly because I have like a zillion washi tapes, but I always like to add a washi tape just because I like using them and I have a ton, so I need to work through them. So 1 roll of washi tape, and I chose this one. This one was a $1 washi tape from Michaels that I got a long time ago. And then I always like to choose, I like to have 4 different alphas. So I like to have 2 large alphas and 2 small alphas. Alphabets, I mean, if you don't know what I'm talking about. So for my 2 large alphabets, the first one I chose was these thickers in gold glitter, and this is the style Fitzgerald. And then the second one I chose were these cork stickers from Recollections, and that's just the Michaels brand, the Michaels Craft brand. And then for my 2 small alphabets, I really have more than 2 because I could use pretty much any one of these colors, but just to make things easy on myself and because they've just been sitting here doing nothing, I chose this pack of Snap tile letters, Snap stickers typeset. That's the only name it has. They're just their typical tile letters. There's 8 sheets in the pack, so I've got those. And then another thing that I always like to add, again because I have so much of it, is trim and or ribbon. And I think that the specific guidelines for the actual challenge was to have at least 1 yard of ribbon, but every piece of ribbon, like every length of ribbon, had to measure less than 1 foot in length. For me, I just go through, I don't have any set amount, I just go through my ribbon stash and pick out a bunch of pieces that, you know, match and will work. Because like I said, I have so much of it. So for the first piece, I chose this little lace piece. And I think all of mine are more than 1 foot long, but again, that doesn't bother me because I'm going to use it. And then I have this ribbon. I guess I could use it on either side, but this is a little bit too bright. I mean, I guess it matches the floral, so I guess I could use it, but mostly I got it out for this side. It's a little less overwhelming. And then I have this self-adhesive ribbon, just in black polka dots, and then some sequins ribbon stuff, and then some pink like braided trim. So yeah, I just grabbed like a handful of ribbons and trims that will match. Another thing that I like to do is I always have a 6x6 paper pad. You know, everybody has a million 6x6 paper pads, and they really come in handy for layering. So the one that I chose was from the Bloom collection, and I have not used this one yet. and I just thought that the colors would go really well. So there's that. Let's see. Okay. The next guideline that I have is to choose 6 journaling cards, and they can be any brand. I usually like to choose 2 6x4, 4x6 pieces, and then 4 3x4 pieces. So these are the ones I chose, and these are all Project Life brand. I think a couple of these, or maybe all of them. A couple of them are from the Neapolitan collection, and then a couple of them are from Fifth and Frolic. So they're oldies. I have so many, like many other people. I have 5 gazillion Project Life card kits, so I really like to use them in my 12x12 scrapbooking because it uses them up and it gives them a purpose. I do also do Project Lifestyle, but you just don't go through them as quickly as you think you're going to. The next guideline I have is to use a partially used item. So pick an item, any item from your stash that has already been used, and add it to your kit. Simple enough. And the item I chose was from Crate Paper Little U Collection, and these are the like little embellishments. This came with like a little banner with a brad, and then a bunch of wood and enamel, like epoxy buttons. This is like the little boy version. They have a girl version too, but I only have a few, like two colors of the enamel dots left. And I like to include enamel dots or pearls or something small like that because I like to use them as finishing pieces when there's just something missing or not, like you need to bring your layout together a little bit more. Enamel dots, always. Another one of my guidelines, and this one is one that I made up specific to myself because I have so many products from this place, is to add a product from Freckled Fawn. Now, Freckled Fawn, if you don't know, is an online scrapbook shop, and they sell monthly scrapbooking embellishment kits. So you become a monthly subscriber, and every month you get exclusive products from this brand. So I have a bunch of stuff. I don't subscribe to it anymore, not because I don't want to, just because I had to cut back a little bit. But yeah, I still have a lot of embellishments, so I always like to include one of theirs because, first of all, they're cute. Second of all, I need to use them. Let's see. Oh, the next one is label stickers. Label stickers come in they come in handy so much for adding dates, small little blurbs, titles, like mini titles, whatever. They come in handy for 12x12 scrapbooking a lot more than some people might think. So I always like to include a label sheet or a label sticker pack, in this case another snap pack. This also comes with 8 sheets, and pretty much all of these colors would go, I think. So who knows which ones I'll use. I have literally an entire drawer that just is label stickers, so I need to have those in there to use them up. Okay, let's see what else. Okay, another thing on the list is a nearby item. So when you sit at your scrapbook desk, your, I don't know, wherever you do your crafting, just sit there and reach your arm out and pick something. Whatever your arm can reach, just pick it. So just grab something that's near to you. And in that case, I used, this is another, brain fart. Another product that goes with the Wonder Collection. It doesn't actually say Wonder Collection on it, but it matches it identically. It's got the little cat, the bunny, you know. So that's what I counted this as a nearby item. And then the next thing is, let's see. Oh no, actually I counted the chipboard. I'm sorry, I lied earlier. I counted the chipboard as my sticker sheet. I always like to include a 12 by 12 or 6 by 6 sticker sheet because I have a bunch of them, but I counted the chipboard as that because I had it and it was here. So then my unused item would have been one of these next ones, which I think it was this one that I counted as my unused item. So this is from the Wonder Collection again, and these are the puffy stickers. And then the last thing is an item that you have been wanting to use. So an item that's been sitting in your stash and you have, for whatever reason, not used it, but you've been wanting to use it, you've been hoarding it, just grab it and use it. Like, oh, I'm going to save it for the perfect project. No, the perfect project is now. Do it now. Just grab it. So I grabbed these wood veneers, and I do like to add wood veneers because they add another texture and another depth to your scrapbook pages. I really like to choose products that will give texture and dimension. So that's why I have a lot of like these 3D puffy stickers and this. I don't like my projects to be flat usually. So yeah, but that is the whole kit. I hope that these guidelines inspire you or help you to, you know, start using more of your stash. I know that doing this has really helped me a lot. I use things that I either, you know, forgot about or just didn't know how I was going to use, or I was saving or hoarding or whatever. This just really helps me to use up my stash. And I have gone through so much more product by doing this. And we all don't want to like use up everything we have, especially when you're on a budget and you can't afford to go out and replace everything all the time. But it is nice to kind of like, does anybody feel that sense of like accomplishment when you finish up a pack of product? Like I do. I know I do. So anyway, if you like this video, oh, I forgot the best part. I am going to be continuing this first portion of the series by creating pages with this kit. So every time I create a page with this kit, you guys will get to see a process video on that. And then once I'm done using up this kit, I will go ahead and show you everything that's left over and how much I actually used of it. So I'm basically going to use it until it cannot be used anymore. So yeah, that should be fun. So you guys can see really how much, sorry, the lightning warning distracted me. So I don't remember exactly what I was saying, but you guys will get to see exactly how many pages this amount of product, I mean, you can get out of. And my pages are pretty heavily embellished. So if you aren't a big embellisher, you can get a lot more out of this than I'm going to. But just to give you a sense of, you know, how much, like how far you can really stretch it if you are big on embellishments. And you can get like a good amount of stuff out of this, you know, this kit and these guidelines. But I feel like this is a good amount of stuff. I feel like if you buy a kit from a kit company online, this is probably the same amount of stuff you would get in one of their kits. So, I mean, I think it's a decent size. Anyway, I think I've babbled on enough. So if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, subscribe to see more, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!